What's going on, people? I am Swerve, and this is the OpinionatedFacts Media Group podcast, coming to you guys with another one that we're going to be talking about a few things related to relationships. Maybe some things you've experienced, maybe some things you haven't, but we're going to make it entertaining for you. And I'm joined by my team today, Coco Love, Illuminated Lenses, turning to be great. What's good?
What up?
What's up?
Coco ain't got no word for us today.
I said, hey.
Well, I guess we can start with you. Hey.
Well, hello again. Well, so today I wanted to talk about something that came to my mind when I was listening to a podcast, and it was the segment where listeners could write in. A young lady wrote in, and she basically was saying that she hadn't been dating in the past 2 years or so. She took some time to herself, and she recently got back into it, met a great guy. They've been talking or getting to know each other rather for a month, 1 month, 4 weeks. Okay. Keep that in mind.
All right. They come after three. All right. Let's go. All right.
Just keep that in mind, okay? And so anyway, she was talking about how great he was, being very attentive, bringing her food, buying her groceries when she was sick, all these great things, talking about he wanted to marry her, all of these good things, right? And they had a conversation about intimacy because they had not been intimate yet. And she wasn't really, she wasn't really sure, because again, it's been a month. And he was talking to her about being in a relationship, being exclusive. And she is concerned. She basically wrote in kind of down on herself, saying that she can't recognize a good thing. She's like, why can't I recognize that I have a good thing going? Am I being weird for wanting to run away from him? And the hosts basically were like, girl, no, it's been a month. And I was in agreement with that because he's talking about getting married and it's only been a month. So my question is, what do you consider to be moving too fast when it comes to getting to know someone? Would you consider that what I just described as being moving too fast? Or would you think that that's a good pace?
Well, I was doing some a regular Google search. You guys could probably look this up yourself, but it did say that within 6 months, people know if they want to be married or not. I think that comes from a very old school way of thinking, but that's what the research says. So they're about 5 months short. If you
yes.
And I was going to definitely say at least within 6 months, you would kind of actually see the real person. Initially, you're going to see their representative, but to get more into their real character, I would say at least 6 months.
And he is, like you said, 5 months short. My mom has definitely always said that, after 6 months, you ought to know. I can kind of sort of understand that. I do think you might need a little bit more time, but it's only been a month. It hadn't been 6 weeks. I personally felt like, in this particular case, it was moving too fast. And I think that some men feel like that's all women want is to get married. And I feel like, honestly, it gave me Tommy from Martin. He was just trying to get the draws. That's all I was thinking of. They haven't had sex yet. She said she wasn't too sure. So he was like, let me buy her some groceries and tell her I want to marry her so I can get some vagina. So I can go about my business. Cause I really feel like that's what it is. Once he got what he wanted, he was going to dip. Cause you doing a lot. You put a lot of sauce on it, man.
I don't necessarily agree with that because they say women fall easily. Men can fall easily too. He might just see something in her. And it kind of can go both ways because is he moving fast? Extremely. Again, I'm not paying for your groceries a month in. He crazy. But at the same time, she let him pay for the groceries or whatever. So what it sounds like is you let him do all this little house stuff and everything that, boyfriend and girlfriends or husband and wives do. And yes, it was very quick, but it kind of seemed like you running away from that.
Yeah, like she wants the benefits of the husband or whatever, but she don't want to actually be his wife.
Yeah. You basically playing house at that point.
So she should have refused the grocery, basically is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I was sick though. So
right.
You said what?
She was sick.
Hold on. You said she was sick?
Yeah, she was she had a cold or something.
That ain't got nothing to do with him though. I'm not saying that.
I don't know if he volunteered to bring her. I don't know how they got to the groceries. She just said that he brought her groceries when she was sick. So I don't know.
Yes, I'm assuming that maybe he volunteered because recently my friend that passed, her mom said she had COVID, and so I volunteered if y'all need anything, I'll drop something off at the door for you. So it probably was just one of those things. She wasn't feeling well, and he offered to bring groceries.
Right now, if he just brought her ass some soup, that's not really groceries. She kind of need to explain that better.
Listen,
now,
we gotta respect that man $2-3 for that Campbell soup, okay?
I'm saying now if he just bought her some soup or whatever, then, then all this is like out the window. Cause it's like, my nigga, you just bought some soup. Like, you can't really,
Right, like
you
calm down.
can't really try to get some, can't really get some draws or trying to jump to a marriage. And you done brought some, some chicken noodle. Like, it's,
Well, yeah, we gonna go to the next one here. So we're gonna talk about drive, man. This is something that I can relate to personally, and I think many people can. If you're trying to be an aspiring entrepreneur or someone that has greater aspirations to just doing 40 hours a week. So what I'm gonna talk to you guys about today is just the differences in being with someone that is as driven as you are and not being with somebody that's as driven as you might be. So what I see a lot of times is that, most people, about 98% of our population is doing the same thing. They're going to work, they're doing their 40 hours and they're coming home. And then they're with someone that maybe say they want to be more than that. So they come home and they're getting to their dreams. They're starting on their business at 5 or 6 and they're working well into the night. And I think this could be a problem because sometimes if you're dating someone that doesn't have the same drive as you end up feeling almost trapped in some ways because you want to make that other person happy too, but you understand that really your dreams, they come first, especially if you're a man, because in order for you to provide, you have to be able to go out and be the hunter and go figure it out and create this wealth that you may dream of having one day. And also for women too, if that's what you want to do. But being with someone else could hinder you from doing that because maybe instead of going and doing some work at 5, they're like, hey man, it's over for work. We already did the 8 hours for the day. Why do you want to come home and do another 2 or 3 hours on a computer? Or why do you want to come home? And this could be hobbies too, like even working out. I'm pretty sure you may notice that too, right, Journey? You be working trying to get your body right, and you're dating someone that is like, why are you doing all of that? Like, why don't you just come home? I just want to ask y'all about that. Have y'all experienced talking to someone or being around someone or just someone else you may know that's really driven, but they're dating or with someone that's not as driven and it's causing pressure on the relationship?
Yeah, I mean, especially what you said about the working out thing. I was talking to someone, I had to work earlier that day and that later on that night I was going to the gym and they were like, well, can you come visit me or come see me? And I'm like, no, I ain't got my workout in. So it's just, again, that's something important to me. And it's just other things that I want to do. And it was a lot of, can I see you? Can I spend time with you? And, I get it, to build something. Yeah, you got to put in quality time, but also, if I want to build my dreams, I got to put in time over there too. So I can't be around you every day. So it can be a little annoying if they don't have the same drive.
That in a way that shows interest too. Because Journey, for example, like you wanted to go to the gym or whatever. So if he wanted to see you, or if he really wanted to spend time with you or whatever,
Come
then
to the gym, right?
Yeah, that's like, you can't just be all about yourself. I mean, you'd be surprised when you're dating. People kind of tell you how they are without actually telling you how they are, like as far as like their actions and everything.
That's a good point. And I want to add to what you said as well. But what you find though is it's a lot of people out here too that talk about what they want to be and who they could be and what they should be, but they don't actually move on that. So Journey's actually going to get the body that she wants, but he may just be talking about it. And I think a lot of times after dating someone, when they just sold you this dream and told you what they want to do and how they're going to do it and this, that, and the third, and then you get with them and you realize this person's not really like what he said. They're showing me that they really don't want that. They told me that, but what they're doing doesn't match up with what they said. So yeah, that's very important. I think people should pay attention to stuff like that because a lot of people get trapped in, and if Journey wasn't strong or some other people wasn't strong, you give up on building yourself because you're going to be with somebody that you think that you're in love with, but actually that person is just holding you back because they're holding themselves back as well. So it's just something to think about.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. It just kind of reminds me of this one thing. Actions speaking louder than words. Like, I don't know if y'all pay attention with social media like that heavy, but it kind of seems like 50-50 dating or who pays for who at this time or whatever. It seems like that's like a big topic. And say I'm trying to talk to this girl or whatever and I'll take her on a date. And either I ask her like, hey, so, will you going half? Or if I pay for this date, are you going to pay for the other one? And so you have like some women, for example, be like, you're asking to date me, so why should I be paying for it or whatever? But then you have guys be like, oh, well, you trying to use me and stuff. I don't really feel like you have to make a certain like, hey, you're going to pay for this, I'm going to pay for that. I feel like it's what you want to do. And I feel like if y'all really have that connection, then you don't really have to worry about somebody using you or paying for this or paying for that.
Well, traditionally, the man is, quote, supposed to, quote, be the person paying for the date. I think men should reconsider. If you're going to put your money with any woman, then make sure that that's a woman worth whatever you're going to spend. I think that just kills it all. You're going to spend some money as a man. That's just the way that it is. You're going to spend some money because if you found someone that you're interested in, I think it's good. But what's happening with a lot of men is that we're just shooting for anything. And then we have created this society that thinks that I'm a woman. It don't matter if I'm a good woman, bad woman, or whatever. I'm supposed to be taken out on a date. And that's not true. I think certain women, it's reserved for them. If I find a wife or somebody I'm interested in, I pay for her, not everybody. So I think it's a misunderstood situation in society, but I'm going to go ahead and say 50-50 really doesn't exist. You only feel that way when you go out with somebody and you want something in return. And when you get through paying, you're not getting what you, quote, paid for.
Right. Because I was about to say, is that really a discussion beforehand? Like, we got to negotiate who's paying for the date? Like, that's great. I haven't been in that type of situation where there was actually a conversation like, look, we're going to go somewhere, but I'll get half, or I'm going to get this one. If we go out again, you get the next. I hadn't experienced that.
I have. And it was like we were getting to know each other or whatever, and we were going on dates, and all the dates were like his idea. And like, you know, we weren't in a relationship or anything like that. And it's like he got like mad at me almost. I don't even know how we got to that point, but he was just like, look, man, you gonna have to like put in some money on some of these dates. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got paid yet. This was younger. Younger, by the way. I just want to, I should have prefaced it with that. But like, I was like fresh out of college, whatever. He was like, you have to put some money in on these dates, man, because I haven't got paid yet. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to go, then you can pay for this one or whatever. And I'm just like, okay.
Well, you know what? I do recall, but it wasn't negotiated beforehand. I do remember a guy kind of felt some way because he had paid for our outings, which was, I mean, it probably totaled out to maybe $50, $60, but he had an itemized list at the end of it. But like I said, all of it was negotiated by him. But like that, other than like having a conversation prior, like I'm going to pay for this, you going to pay for this. I haven't encountered.
Hey, he'd be looking at the receipt at the dinner table like, hey man, I ain't order this, man. This yours. Oh, this yours right here.
I think a safe way to play it would be to, if I say or suggest to you like, hey, let's go to the movies or whatever, and we're getting to know each other. Personally, me, I'm doing that with the thought and intention, pay for it. Now, when we get there, or if you take it upon yourself to pay for the tickets or whatever, then that's on you. You just did that. Appreciate it. But I had the intention and the thought to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it would be safer for everyone if that was the way it was approached. Like, if I suggest that we go do this, that maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should be the one paying for it.
I'm going to drop a gem on the fellas right now. If you want to be in control of what you spend, the same thing with ladies too. Actually, they could take this as well. But I believe invite people where you want to go. And if you got the extra money, it just makes sense. Like, for example, if you want to go have steak and you want to bring on a young lady that you are fond of, then you put in it within your budget and say, hey, look, I'm going here. Would you like to go? If you don't see her as being somebody that's going to be in your life, why are you so concerned about what she wants? Because she ain't concerned about what you want. She just want to go eat. And that's why men feel like they're being used. But if you already pre-selected where you're going to go, what you're going to eat, and you invite her and say, hey, would you like to go? Then that takes a lot of that away.
I agree. I think that's a better way to go about it versus feeling like, you know, you out of money because you fed this woman. I mean, make sure somebody you interested in at least, or, you know, or you just want company perhaps, but nothing to be upset about like, hey, I spent $20 on this chick and I didn't get anything. Like, you know.
Right. I can see how you would feel that way too. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you do feel like you're being used by this person, you know, women feel like they're being used too. Even with paying for stuff. Like, you have some dudes that, you know, they'll try to finagle you out of your little money. Then they also want vagina as well. So it's like, dang, bro, like, can't even feed me.
But that just goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Getting to know people. Don't move too fast. See what their head is, what they're about, how they move. So you won't feel like you being used or you missing out on money or you won't have any regrets, whatever. Just get to know people for who they are.
It sounds like that's the moral of the story. Make sure you know somebody before you pay for their groceries. That's what I'm taking out.
Oh, and on a side note, Coco, I recently thought about you the other day because I met a truck driver, and so I already So I am already on guard. So yeah.
He on the way to the next. But anyway, I think that's all we got for him today, right, team?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
Thank all of the people around the globe that are listening to us, man. We have stretched all the way out to beyond the borders, man. And it's been really right. And I'm so thankful. I know my team is thankful too, because we talk about this all the time, and we never thought that we would get the city lines, let alone the international border. So I want to thank everybody, whoever you are over there. Thank you. And continue to listen, man. We dropped some gems now. You know that. That's why you listen in the first place. But anyway, I am Squarer, joined by Coco Love, Illuminated Lenses. It's going to be great. This is the Opinionated Facts Media Group podcast. Until next time, peace.